Edna, Snoit Olasna, Sglintirg, Olech.
Olay.
Oh,
I so thank you, Slur, for being that, because I just recorded all of that.
Perfect.
Motherfucker.
You started
now,
speaking in tongues, and I'm
viewers-
just like,
Viewers at home, if you could rewind the VOD, you would hear that Slur just said, "Hello, greetings, and salutations, and welcome to Y.A.R.P episode 87. Today, we're talking about Bruce Almighty in our next Jim Carrey arc episode.
Nice. Shipping two directions now.
Oh man. So yeah, legit, this movie has a special place in my heart. I fucking remembered it a lot better than I thought I did. But it's beautiful. It's a good movie. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is. There is some problems which we can get into, but like, I was grinning ear to ear the entire time.
yeah, I think we fully recommend this movie without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Not to anyone.
Nope. Fuck this movie.
Yep.
So yeah, it's got that conservative propaganda that like God can basically fix everything. So yeah, I'm not feeling that. Like, I mean, I'm a filthy libtard.
Right wing dog whistles.
Dog whistles. Dogma.
The fact that it says that praying works feels very like pro-capitalist, anti-black to me. You know
Yeah, a
what I
little
mean?
bit. Which is
The
ironic
fact
because
that God is represented by a black man is pretty patriarchal.
it's like, wow, really? You get a fucking shit thrown in our faces? No.
Oh wow, God is like black man, but he's also a janitor. Wow.
Wow.
Who wears
Wow.
a lot of white.
Wow.
Internalized racism.
Totally, yeah. Like even though he's black, he has to wear white because he knows it's not pure. Yeah, got him, Your Honor.
Clapper with the hard R.
And Y.A.R.P is canceled. Record time. Let's go.
Again.
Set the room.
Well, I'm working on it. It pretty much just went like, hey, Jiren's out.
We're gonna share my screen then. That's fucking Wyatt's an idiot. All right.
The game is literally just saying like, hey, there's all these updates, and it's like, all right, yeah, give me a second.
But yeah, no. What did you guys think? How many times has everybody seen it? I've seen it.
This is my first time, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Well, then
actually
you're
bad
taking
one.
the fucking lead. Goddamn.
Yeah, what the fuck? As soon as you can figure out how to play video games.
And see colors.
What are colors? This mysterious thing you speak of. I see only red.
What is it? What is it?
No, he
color?
sees only sand because he lives in
Oh
fucking
shit.
Arizona.
Uh-oh.
It's coarse and rough, and he can't differentiate between blues and purples.
And it gets everywhere. So yeah, I really liked it. I thought all the jokes were pretty good. I wasn't keeping notes like you guys were.
See, this
But
is
still,
why
like,
you're
just
always
like characters, just the general impression you get, like the arc of the main character, I think is a pretty fucking good way to start. It is the backbone of the whole movie.
Yeah, Bruce's arc actually is pretty good. Then
It kind of goes a little buck wild there because like he is abjectly a piece of shit, dude. Like I forgot.
Well, that is kind of like that's one of the first things I know because, like you, I saw this movie like a good few times when I was younger, but you kind of remember all the gags and all the jokes, but you don't really remember a lot of like the specific detail shit. Bruce Nolan as a character has like some pretty fucking legitimate serious flaws. He's not evil or malicious or like
Well, I
down
don't
to
know.
his bones an asshole completely,
Well,
but he is profoundly self-centered. Like
well,
his
there's a,
entire world, he has like real fucking tunnel vision.
well, that's gonna be a point I was gonna bring up, in the thing, asking if Bruce Nolan was. Ah man, I'm using so many.
Yeah, we're good.
here.
Yeah, we're good.
Alright, so
Alright,
Max,
sorry
you gotta
about
pick
that.
up right where you left off.
Yeah. So
Hold on, as the button, are we actually sure?
Yes.
are we sure?
sure
Are
we're
you gonna?
sure?
Are
All
you,
right,
you
welcome
sure?
to episode
Are you
87 and a half, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Well, no, it's just
You
fucking spliced together.
No, I-
87,
no, I-
5,
No, you say that.
We go
No.
to Titanic.
Congratulations, Slayer. You've now made it so that this is gonna be a separate episode.
Yeah. God damn it.
Just a
Anyway,
6-minute clip.
Slayer, we were talking about how like if Bruce like chilled out for a split second, like he would have actually had like a good case against Evan because the fact that he basically just stole something that was already recorded, kind of deal. Like,
So
Yeah, but
it
like
has
at
So
to
that
I-
be
point
the
it would be
public.
office politics bullshit.
so
I also,
so
like,
wait.
I also don't know how like well the fucking like journalism is represented in this shit because like who's
So-
in charge?
So I don't know what you're talking about. Hold on. So I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a
Evan
guy
just
above him.
took. Hold on. So Evan just took something. I don't remember.
Are you kidding me? What does Evan say?
Did
after he
you
gets the
not
anchor
watch the
posi-
fucking movie
I
again?
know. Okay, hang on. Wait a minute. All right, hold up. What does
oh.
Evan say after he gets the anchor position?
I need. Okay, so I didn't. I don't know for that.
You
It
son
was.
of a bitch.
I don't remember one fucking line. What's the
It's
problem?
fucking
It's a
important.
it's a really pivotal line
Okay.
because what
You
Evan
don't
says.
actually need to know the line. It's more just like he stole Bruce's bit because remember Bruce. did
Oh, the
story
cookie
with
crumbles.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and
no,
when
well,
There we
hang
go.
on. Hang on.
position-
For Wyatt's benefit, like you might not realize this, but the what Bruce was late for was them watching all of their bits. So they watched Bruce's bit with the cookie, like the whole intro to the movie. They were watching that in that office.
Yeah, which is
and-
why he roasts him
Right.
for it when he arrives. It's like what you need to know is the newsroom is it's like a big cookie.
Cookie. Like, hey, look, I
And
just got
everybody's
Aiden.
like
That
snickering
kinda
under their
worked out,
breath
actually.
because it's like Evan covered a story about like a sex scandal in the mayor's office, and
With
the other
children,
guys covered
apparently.
like sports and weather or whatever the fuck. And then it's like in comparison, Bruce was covering a story about like a big fucking biscuit. Like they're kind of roasting him for that. That's what they're laughing at.
hang
That's
on,
what that
hang
whole
on.
scene is.
Look, I know your people are backwards and all that, but we don't call them biscuits. We call them cookies. All right. Just
Yeah,
keep
but
that-
you don't
just keep that-
distinguish between the ones who have like chocolate chips in and the ones who don't. The ones with chocolate chips in are
just the-
cookies.
Yeah,
No.
That was a
delicious.
cookie.
No.
Yeah, but a cookie.
No,
could
a
have-
cookie-
oh
Then
my
there's
God.
that one
A
company
cookie
that
could
actually
have.
calls them chips. They call them Chips
What?
Ahoy.
Yeah, Chips Ahoy. Well, because it's
Yeah,
chocolate.
because they have got chocolate chips in them.
So they're not cookies or biscuits. They're chips, not fries.
Well, no, the chips are inside of it. But a cookie doesn't
Wait,
have to have chocolate chips to be a
You're
cookie.
getting confused by your bullshit. Do you hear yourselves?
Yeah,
Yes, and it sounds
America.
Chips
delicious.
we made along the way.
it's the cookies we made along the way with some nuts.
I was gonna
and
say the
some
only
Wyatt.
biscuits we eat over here are covered in gravy.
But the point is,
Those are
as
scones, and that gravy is disgusting. A friend of mine keeps trying to get me to
Dude.
try it. Just I
Man,
swear
what
that
is
shit
up with your
looks
shitty
disgusting.
fucking breakfast takes, dog?
I love how I just keep trying to
Hold on, you
reignite
had
the
that shit
food.
for breakfast? I always
Yes!
thought it was like a
Yes,
meal.
it's a breakfast food.
It's sausage gravy, dude. It's sausage gravy over biscuits.
Hey, she always made it for dinner, so I just assumed.
Well, you can
Yeah.
technically have breakfast for dinner if you want to. It's a free country.
Yeah, we're alled to have
Okay,
like
see, now
freedoms of
that's
food, bro.
just stupid.
Oh my God.
yeah, lots of countries are free.
Anyway, Food Wars 3.0 is not happening now. we're going back to the movie because Wyatt didn't pay attention. But the point is that Evan not only took his job, he also took his like really thought out like line at the end of his bit. And that like also he not only take a spot, but he also screwed him over by taking something that isn't known to the public, but is known to the office.
Yeah, that's why he calls him Evan Backstepper.
Bastard.
I was
That's
more-
what that whole
I was
thing
more-
about, and
I
that's
was
why
more
he
starstruck.
So very hostile about it.
I was more starstruck by Evan from Evan Almighty.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, shut up.
Just- we're not watching this movie. No
this
fucking
does
care.
not-
We're
No.
not doing it.
No.
Arc win. No,
Yes!
but, no, we're not watching the movie. That movie's terrible. But it's not even funny.
It's
actually
got John
not.
Goodman in it though.
Yeah, but it's not funny.
It's also got
What's funny is Bruce Almighty. If somebody paid attention to the fucking movie, they'd know that. But like the idea that like so starting with that, like if he would have cooled out and chilled out and like actually talked to I think his name was Jack, the big guy.
Mhm.
Jack.
Well,
would've-
he's
would've-
the like manager of the studio. He's the head guy
Yeah.
on the thing, but he's obviously not the owner of like the network. So
Yeah.
when he's referring to like guys above him, that's what he's talking about.
Mhm. So that happens, and yeah, he gets fired because he fucking loses his mind. And hey, what a timely thing to be talking about the blue jewel on the railing of the Titanic, being in this freaking
I mean,
movie.
it is very auspicious timing.
It's a little bit
on
auspicious
our part.
timing. We might be trying to cover something up here, but that's neither here or there. So what
I mean,
happens?
we're in on the like U.S. Navy fucking cover-up job.
Yeah. But all of that was live too, so there's no way to cut that out. That was all done live, so the entire world saw him like being an ass of
I
himself
mean, he
because,
begged Jack for a chance to kind of prove himself, and this
and
was
he
it. Like, we're
completely
putting you
blew it.
live. Yes, he
Completely
did.
blew it. Granted, he did have a good reason for a nervous breakdown, but like he shouldn't have had the nervous breakdown. It's not being a professional. Um, so after that, he noticed he gets, obviously he gets kicked out of the office, and yeah, because rightly so. Um,
Andy
he
gets beat up by Hector.
No. I'm getting there. So he goes outside and he notices that Hector and the other Hectors are all like chastising this old man who's been holding up signs and like picking on him. And so Bruce does the right thing, goes, "Hey man, can y'all stop it?" And obviously the Hectors didn't want a problem, so they just walked away, just
Okay, it's
let it go.
happened 3 times now. Is calling like these dudes Hectors the equivalent of calling all Irish people fucking patties? Is that what we're
No,
doing?
No,
no,
that's
the
the
fucking
actor.
no, his name is not actually Hector the actor, but like 90% of his roles, you could pull up a fucking picture of the fucking IMDb. All of his roles are called Hector.
You literally wanted me to make a gag out of this, out of like
Yeah,
your Bane video.
yeah. I wanted to make a gag because hey, it's Hector. But the so they all leave and they're well and gone. They're going away. And he goes, "Yeah, you better run." To about 6 fucking dudes. And they go, "What?"
Yeah,
and
so yeah, then they
they
fucking
beat his
beat his
ass.
shit.
So like
Because of course they fucking do.
And
And even when like they finish beating his shit, they're just like, yeah, go on, say something again. Say something
hey,
again.
you forgot your things. Dropped all this shit on him.
And fucking scratch up his car for good measure.
Yeah.
and broke his window.
And of course, the way that Bruce responds to this, because like he does everything in his life through this quite narrow lens, is oh, I get it. That's my reward.
That's my
That's what
reward
I
for
get
helping
for trying to help.
someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it's
like
like, no,
even
Which
when
is what a lot of
he's like going through
people.
something else, it's always framed in such a way as I'm being punished for trying to be good. I am a
Which is
victim. I should have gotten something good and I didn't. Like he's justified in being upset. Like he's justified in like really feeling like his life is falling apart.
yeah, because a lot of people do think that
yeah.
they think that if you do something, you should be rewarded for it. Essentially,
Which
Well,
is
no.
not really how
That's
life works.
that's not how it works. And especially if you, mouth off to a bunch of thugs, probably gonna get your ass beat. Like that's just logical deterrence. And so yeah, then
hmm
he goes back to the apartment and he is just pity party me, literally not paying attention to Grace. By the way, Grace MVP for like potential MVP for waifu of the year because Jesus Christ, she put up with Bruce's shit for a long time. Like she
5 years.
like she's really nice. Would anybody put up with anyone like that for that long?
Well, we do actually get kind of a balanced picture of this because clearly he does have his redeeming qualities when he's not fucking wrapped up in himself. It's
Mhm,
just he gets so wrapped up in himself that eventually, it fucking breaks her heart and she has to leave, which
mhm.
completely fair.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just like literally shitting on her, like literally throwing her shit around and stuff like that, like like just complaining about his own life, and he's like literally not even paying attention to what like she is. And the fact when she actually has emotional outbursts, he goes, "Oh, that's great. I'll feel guilty about this." It's like, dude,
Yeah,
what the
that's what I need on the worst day of my life, a
yeah,
guilt trip. And then he just fucking leaves. Like
yes, and
he's being an asshole.
yeah, and that's what I put the fucking thing in the group. I was like, "Jeez, what a dick!" Like, it's like, what an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah. He's like understandable and we in the audience and like Grace in the fucking scene, all of us are like understanding that like he has reasons to be like very in his fucking feelings right now. But like,
Mm.
god damn, dude.
Yeah, like it's just like rough, dude. So, I like the incorporation of you guys are familiar with the God sent two boats joke.
No.
Oh yeah, I am.
Oh, you're not Wyatt? Okay, so there's a story of a man who is on top of a house and the house is being flooded and he's up to the roof. And he's sitting on top of the roof and he goes, God, please save me. And a guy pulls up in a boat and says, Hey man, get in here. And the man says, No, I'm gonna wait for God to come save me. And so the guy goes, Okay, and he drives off. And another guy in a boat comes over and goes, Hey, do you want to be saved? He's like, No, I'm gonna wait for God to save me. And he goes, Okay, and he drives away. And the flood eventually takes over the house and the guy drowns. He gets up to heaven and he asks God, Hey, why didn't you save me? And God says, I literally sent you 2 boats. And when he's literally sitting there going, God, send me a signal, and it says caution ahead, and then it's like, okay, give me a sign, and there's
Yeah, and
literally
it's
a
all the
fucking
Yeah,
stops.
I mean that
Yeah,
was
stop
also
sign.
our first sign that God has a sense of fucking humor.
Yeah,
he's very
it's
much
like,
got a sense of humor.
dude.
And the joke hits for us because like Bruce literally doesn't click it. Like the whole fucking truck of signs pulls in front of him, and he's like, "Oh, look at this asshole."
Pretty much. Oh, this ass. So yeah, he actually pretty says, "Oh, this
He
Joker."
literally says that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
To
so
be
yeah,
fair,
so
he just crashed his car, so he's not in the right. He's
no,
not.
no, 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 no,
he's
no,
not
no, no.
good.
No, this is
We're
before
not there yet because he's literally trying to pray with the beads and he drops them. And as anybody who's ever driven a car before, the safest thing you could ever do is stop looking where you're driving and just keep at the normal speed that you're going. You know, it's pretty much par for the course. What you're supposed to do. I read that in the book somewhere. It's called The Bill.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
I've learned to drive fairly recently, and we covered that lesson 1 under things you don't fucking do.
yeah,
Obviously, you
it's
asshole.
weird. It's like you have to pay attention. And yeah, if you hit something, it's kind of on you. God didn't put something in front of you. You just happened to hit the fucking thing because you weren't looking. And so he's all chalking everything up to God when this is all his stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
even the puddle later, like he steps into the puddle. Like who the fuck
Yeah.
steps on a puddle? You
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
idiot.
yeah. You look ahead of you.
It's like a massive thing. And he goes, oh, thank you, thank you. It's like, dude, that's that's your fault. It's like I don't know what to fucking say. But yeah, so he finally gets the confrontation with the big man and Morgan Freeman. Absolute alpha Chad perfect casting for like divine being.
Yeah, that's why they brought him back for the sequel.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
dude. Like in my notes, I have like this movie is like a pretty good, fine, funny movie about like one man confronting his like central flaw.
Mhm.
But Morgan Freeman as God actually elevates it up to something else. Like he actually makes the movie more excellent.
Mhm.
Like it's not just the casting, which is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It's the fact that like obviously with Bruce, you have like this very flawed person who's like working through that and like everything the whole movie is about him overcoming that flaw. But like everything with Morgan Freeman as God is actually written with like a level of sincerity that's actually very endearing. Like everything he says is actually very true to the way God is kind of like described as this shepherd, this guide, this father figure who's like going to show you the path. He's not going to make you walk it. Like it's all very heartfelt in a very real way that it actually gives the movie an extra layer of depth that really works in its favor.
Mhm. And they bring it up even when after Bruce gets the powers, he's singing that song. What if God was one of us? It's pretty. Like I said, it's a silly little thing, but like it's like really indicative of how they did God's portrayal in the movie. Like it's just, like I said, he just seems like an everyday man, but like very fatherly figure, just really down to earth kind of person. And like the little subtle things too. It's like where it's like, oh, the elevator's out of order, and yet he's already up there in the thing. It's like it's slowly building you into like this is like clearly God. And like even with the clapper, when he claps his hands, and the light goes off, and then he goes, "Oh, did you install a clapper?" He's like, "No, but catchy tune." He starts clapping, and nothing happens with the light. It's like, oh, okay. And then of course the file cabinet.
But it's
Which
like it's everything, every single thing. He's like, okay, you get up to that floor, the 7th floor, and it's like, yep, the light's working. It's a little bright though. And it's like, yeah, it always is to people who've lived in the dark. It's like That's like actual fucking biblical fucking scripture shit right there, and it's just kind of like brushed aside and it's just left alone. Also, the um the phone number that comes up in the pager,
Five
if
five
you like,
five 0123.
yeah, you type that in, it actually spells out the word psalm, like the biblical psalms.
Oh yeah,
And
really?
Psalm 23, I actually looked this up while we are watching, is actually like, oh God, like beside me as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. That
Ah,
psalm.
really?
It's like, yeah, that's Psalm
I,
23. So like
that's
That's
that's really
it's like
smart.
a
Thanks, bud.
weird
yeah, that's
level of
actually
detail put into this shit that like
yeah, that's
nobody would ever think was necessary.
yeah, it's you'd have to look for it on purpose to find it in this case.
I
Yeah.
mean, like if you're familiar with the bill, you probably would have got that. I'm not, unfortunately, so I didn't know that. That's really cool.
So yeah, it's like, do any of us like just the whole movie start to finish? Do any of us have like even a single actual complaint with God himself in this movie?
Oh, in the movie,
Yes, there's
no.
not enough of him.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, hold on. I had a problem when God suddenly face morphed from the fucking homeless guy.
That's
That was a
'cause you're just
fucking. That was a weird shot. I was just like, what the
Look,
fuck?
God didn't do the
God.
CG fucking
God
effects for
works
us.
in
We have to be the
mysterious
miracle
ways,
ourselves.
son.
Okay?
Don't worry about it.
No, in terms of his performance and even his jokes, like I gave you a sense of humor. I know I created you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or it's
Yeah.
like you have that spark to inspire joy in other people. Like, it's like you're doing all this shit because you want to be this like anchor person because you think it has more prestige because you're looking like at this other thing that's just not you rather than trying to find fulfillment in yourself and like legitimately like even if you look outside of like just strict Christianity and just general people trying to find meaning, purpose, and fulfillment in life, like that's just a fucking applicable thing. Like stop looking at something that's not you that like has prestige and look at the shit you've got going on that you can actually do for yourself. It's like that is so like universal that even if you're not Christian, this movie will still hit, I think,
Hmm.
because it is broad in that way. Like the actual character journey is like just so very fucking relatable in its own way.
And even like the little subtle things with like later when the fire when he like in the mansion when he turns on the fire suppression shit, when God shows up, he's 100% dry, even though like Bruce is completely covered in water. It's like little things just here and there, just like nice little touches that don't need to be there, but show like a good care for the movie.
So I remember for a split second before we were having like all these technical and power issues, there was the conversation on like if was is Bruce like an evil guy?
So
Motherfucker
the
did try to
things
overwrite free will for a second.
okay, so there are a couple of things that I have written down here. Uh, the monkey. Um,
Well, no, hold on. It's more than just the monkey. He practically outed it. Like the first thing was people can't know you're God, and like there's no explanation for what he did to any of those people, including spitting fucking locusts at people.
yeah.
How
Well,
dare
they
you? There
thought he was the
absolutely
devil.
is an explanation. They say voodoo.
Yeah, and that he's the devil.
El
Yeah.
Diablo.
Wait, so you can't reveal
It
that
means
he's
that
that
means
he's
Well, yeah, that's the
God.
thing. Well, see, that's the thing. They are incorrect, which means it's fine. He hasn't actually revealed anything.
I guess.
Yeah, see, technicalities,
I
man.
was
This is
going.
why, like, it's all fucking scripture.
Uh, but the point. So what other notes did you have, Max?
Well, so the thing is, we're not done with the monkey. So, So, what were the two rules that God told him that he's not allowed to do?
Can't outright say
Can't
you're
tell people
God.
you're God, and you can't fuck with free will. And that
Yes,
second one gets fucky.
a little bit. So, I
I
know
thought it
there's
was.
the talk of like, do animals have sentience? But
In this movie, no.
well, hang on. But the idea is that I feel like it's pretty straightforward that animals do think and act on their own. They just usually interact with us in different ways because like they're usually trying to get our affection and everything. But an animal can tell you to fuck off basically without like
Yeah, cats do it all the
forcing
time.
Exactly. So Bruce spawns a monkey out of this man's asshole and then forces it to go back inside.
He spawns it, and he basically forces it to. He's
Yeah,
like, go on back now.
You butt dwelling monkey. Like you need to go back.
Well,
home.
here's the thing: is like when he created that monkey, he didn't just create like a normal, natural born animal. He specifically created a what did he
Butt
call
monkey.
it? A butt monkey. Yeah, like that's what he made.
Butt dwelling monkey or whatever.
Yeah, so that's what he created. It's like
Anal
I will,
dwelling butt monkey.
Anal
yeah,
dwelling butt
whatever
monkey.
the
There you
fuck it
go.
is. I'll give like a very slight, tentative, but like raised eyebrow pass to animals that he literally conjures out of thin air because I don't believe they're going to be made with the same kind of uh,
Okay.
rigor
All right.
as
So
natural born animals.
okay. So I'll grant you that he did technically spawn the monkey that popped out of Homeboy's booty.
Mhm.
I'll let you have that one. So moving on. He also does it to Sam, the dog. The dog was not spawned by
Ah.
him.
Now, does he actually like bodily control it, or does he simply communicate
He
instructions
makes
to it?
He makes the dog pee and use the toilet.
Does he, or does he simply tell it to, and it does?
How
Because
is that
then
not
he can
fucking with
actually
free will
communicate.
then?
But is that not fucking with free will?
Hold on.
Though?
Telling someone to do something isn't fucking with their free will. Mind
But-
controlling them to do it is.
The dog could have. The dog didn't have a
Hold on,
choice in
there
the
are
matter.
actually real animals that this does happen to. Like you can train cats to do this.
Yeah, you can't train cats to do this. This is something that can be trained to do. But the idea is that, like, was this technically?
He's not forcing him to.
Yeah. In fact, he's not controlling the dog like fucking remote control because the dog comes out and he actually like forgot a step. It's like, remember. And then the dog goes back and he brings the seat back down. It's like, that's right, we have a girl in the house. So like
And
all of it is done like through instruction and communication, which does not fuck with free will.
You have to remember it gets fucky, but even a direct command does not fuck with free will. Because a command can still be ignored. So he doesn't have to ask him. He can tell him to do it. It's just he can't force him to do it.
For example, standing on a wall and commanding someone to love you will not work.
Correct.
But
He could have made her had an orgasm.
Yeah,
Ew!
okay. Well, yeah. So he's controlling her
I was
body.
going
out of free
I was going
will.
to say he could control her fucking body physiology, but not like immediately.
That isn't free will.
That's not free will. Yeah.
And it's the exact same thing that happens to Evan. He's able to control what Evan Smith does.
No, that was a possession. That was a possession.
Okay, hold up. I was about to get to that because, like, the obvious next one is Evan Baxter. So he starts fucking with the teleprompter, and the teleprompter is something that Evan's reading, and yeah, he messes it up, and then he makes Evan fart, which, it's
Follows the same rules as the orgasm. Yeah.
Exactly. It's still technically within the parameters, but then he starts forcing him to say stuff that he's not actually trying to say. That I believe is complete in violation of Evan Baxter's free will, because
I'm kind of halfway with you.
he doesn't want to say all that. Like he doesn't
He
actually
doesn't want to say all that, but while it is like physically coming out of his mouth, he's very clearly distressed. He actually still completely has his own mind. It's his body that is no longer in his control. His will technically is still his own. It's his body that has been taken. God can give you cancer, and you still have free will.
Yeah, but God can't fucking remove your ability to actually verbally speak. And literally,
Yeah, he took away
when you're trying to communicate because you're on live television. You're trying to do it. By the way, I also watched the deleted scenes for this movie. That deleted scenes gets really fucking dark because Evan starts pouring blood out of his nose, and then his head catches on fire.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
should have left that in, honestly.
Dude, it's brutal because like there's just blood coming out of his nose. Like he's trying to like hold like a paper to keep it from falling out.
And it all depends on how vindictive they want Bruce to be, really.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, so that's why I'm kind of like with the evil thing, because he's just straight up staring at it like as like the blood is pouring out and like his head's on fire. It's like, whoa.
Could you
dude.
make the argument that it's basically the equivalent of like he's putting up a filter so that Evan is just trying to talk. Like Evan's trying to say whatever's on the teleprompter, but what is coming out as gibberish because of Bruce.
Well, so here's the thing. If it was just the teleprompter, that'd be fine. But it's the fact that because like Evan is
At
reading
one
the
point,
teleprompter, going like, okay.
Well,
And,
no. I'm
then
not
Bruce-
saying I agree with you there. What I'm saying is Evan is still trying to say normal news report things, but instead of that coming out, Bruce is basically twisting it to come out as gibberish, poo poo, caca, pee pee, doo doo.
I was gonna say until I would say until like Bruce starts like making the motions alongside him. That's when it gets a bit fucky.
well, like I said, it's.
But if he was doing it that way, you could still argue that he's not fucking with free will.
But the thing is, like, what is he doing in that aspect?
I guess
of,
like
against-
what's free will in this instance? Like
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you have to like kind of like be able to do that. Like him fucking with Evan's ability to actually speak and like do that. He's literally taking control over it, like aspects of his body, which is literally robbing of free will.
Well,
Like he literally has no control over his body. He has no control over his actions. It's completely on like Bruce.
Okay. Let's just like remove Bruce from the equation and we still just have like the default beginning of the movie scenario where God is up there and he's doing his thing and we're all humans, we're down here, we're doing our thing. You get hit by a car and for whatever freak angle it hit you, your arms and legs now have to be amputated. And you can no longer go where you want, you can no longer actually physically move your body where you want it to be. But you still have full control over whether you believe God exists. You still have control over whether you love the people you love, hate the people you hate. Everything you think and feel is still your own, but your body has been completely fucked with. That, I think, is the line.
Do we
Everything that is Evan is still Evan. It's his body that's been fucked with.
Hold on, but when we talk about our free will, are we taking the physical world into occasion? Because free will also includes the actions that you want to do.
We also are taking out something in occasion because in your scenario, he was hit by a truck. The thing that's fucking up Evan's ability to speak is Bruce.
Yeah, God is directly fucking with him.
He's literally
to use Wyatt's example, free will isn't your ability to do what you want to do; it's your ability to want it. That's your free will.
Yeah, so you're saying that Evan wanted to speak gibberish on live television?
No, I'm saying the exact opposite. Evan, at the end of that scene, you can see like he's very clearly fucking distressed. He knows he's going to lose his job. That entire thing, he didn't say any of that on purpose. He was aware that what was coming out of his mouth was not what he wanted to come out of it. His will was intact. His body was being fucked with. That actually made it so much worse for him.
I was going to say, then I guess like it's not a matter of free will. It's the fact he took Evan's fucking consent away from his fucking body.
Yes.
Which I feel like
it is.
That's worse.
Which I feel like it is a form of free will. That's what I say. I feel like it's a form of free will. It's like
no,
taking
it's
away
taking somebody's.
It's taking away free will with extra steps, dude. Like, come on.
Well, okay, if we want to use this example, if you are assaulted, your free will hasn't been taken away; it has simply been violated. You still have it. That's kind of the problem. If somebody can mind control you to want it, you probably wouldn't have as many issues because of the scenario. It's the fact that you still have your free will that makes this an issue. Like, that's the inviolable line. And when you're dealing with anything biblical, yeah, it gets weird and dark and fucked. What he does to Evan is actually incredibly fucking cruel and vindictive.
Yeah, it does not get better or worse. It is absolutely awful. How you doing, Sarah?
Yeah. So yeah, I actually have the term for this. It's the difference between free will and autonomy.
Okay, yeah, that's the better.
Autonomy. I still feel like it skirts the lines hardcore. Like
I agree that it's in some gray area that I consider fucked no matter what.
Hold on here. Now, we don't seem to have an issue when it comes to autonomy with the orgasm scene. Like,
I have an issue with that as well. Actually,
no, that's a little bit.
The thing,
it's fucky. It's just less fucky because she seems perfectly okay with the scenario, but
Yeah.
what he does is
But it's
still
not her
kind of
will.
fucking.
It's
Yeah,
not.
right?
It's not her will, but it's
It's
something
not her
that
she's
autonomy.
it's
comparable.
not. It's not. It's not.
I
It's
mean,
not her
he-
will, but it's something that she can physically like something that can physically done to her. There's no way that you could physically make Evan unless you're just like jabbing his fucking brain. Like you make him like do all that shit with the gibberish. You know what I mean? Like you can give a girl an orgasm. You can't make fucking somebody just go like, you know what I mean? Unless you're actually fucking killing and torturing.
I mean, in both cases, you're just controlling the fucking nervous impulses.
You're controlling
Well, and
nervous
this-
impulses, but like this is like different.
And with
because you're doing
Bruce,
something-
it's a with with the orgasm thing, it's like you kind of like, I guess like because they were gonna do it anyway. That's where we're the
Well,
weird.
no, see,
fucking...
that's like
no, that's
we kind
that's
of
not
give
the
it a
point.
bit of a pass because like she's okay with it ultimately, but like it is the same principle. She does not have the bodily autonomy in that scenario. She has free will to like it or dislike it as she chooses, but she doesn't have autonomy to choose whether or not it's happening. That's the difference. You
Yeah, but I
can't
feel like
violate free will, but you can very clearly violate autonomy.
Mm.
That no, now that
I
we're
don't-
back in
I
the middle
don't-
ground where that's a bit fucky.
Well, no,
Yeah,
but it's,
I'm not
That's
saying it's
my
not
point.
fucked. I'm just drawing a. The line I'm drawing is simply on like the limitation of his power. I am making no comment on how fucked it is or isn't, because obviously taking somebody's autonomy away
No, yeah,
is still very fucked.
yes.
and like I said, I'd argue that they're different things because like he's kind of doing this to like her pleasure centers, whereas he's just straight up robbing Evan the ability to actually speak.
Yeah, it's well, like I said, when he starts making the motions himself.
No, if you give a girl an orgasm the right way, you can't speak.
Obviously,
Oh,
you
for
get what I'm
fuck's-
trying. You get
Yeah,
what I'm
if
trying
he,
to say.
if he had
though.
just
like,
made Evan come instead of just fucking
Yeah, he
making
just
him
made him
shit
come like,
himself.
On this
"Ah!"
bitch, I gave her the Evan Baxter treatment.
There you go.
Oh,
She's just like, gaga, pee doo.
The Evan Baxter treatment. She just turns into a mentally handicapped person. She's like,
no, 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 no,
"Oh
no, no,
my
no.
God."
And then just farts. And then basically just shits herself.
I'm sorry about that.
Doo-doo.
I do the
Doo-doo.
cha-cha like a
Doo-
sissy girl.
Doo-doo caca pooper.
My tiny little nipple went to France.
The prime rib roast minister.
I
Somebody-
like
So
that.
you
Somebody-
joined at, like the absolute
cha-cha.
like peak point
Somebody,
in the conversation, obviously.
somebody saw that scene and went, "This guy needs his own movie."
Yeah, and they were fucking wrong.
Oh, yeah, no. Steve Carell is a beautiful man, but he could not save that movie.
No,
I mean, yeah, you did an amazing job in that scene, but
But-
yeah, Evan Omani was not the best.
Yeah, so like I said, it gets a little fuggy wuggy at certain points. And then of course, so if you would believe it or not, Evan wasn't actually the fucking nail in the coffin. The nail in the coffin is the Colombian. So Bruce Almighty is trying to consolidate all of the prayers and stuff like that. So he puts it into a computer, right?
Right.
And he's like, man, if I do this, I need some coffee. And he just spawns a Mexican man or a Colombian man and a donkey on his fucking
Oh, yeah.
fire
Okay.
escape.
Okay, right. Now, this is probably going to be one of the worst sentences I've ever said on this. Right?
No!
Do
Everyone
it,
shut the fuck
please,
up.
Stop
please. No,
Everyone shut the fuck up.
But
continue.
I put that Colombian in roughly the same kind of categorization as I put the monkey from the asshole earlier. Or because they
Are you
Alright, guys.
trying to
Alright.
say Colombians are anal-dwelling butt monkeys?
Man, this got dark
Obviously
fast.
Alright, well,
Based.
rip the channel, guys. Sorry. Fucking slurs
However,
confirmed.
Susan, I don't
Like
like I said
apologize.
earlier with
I
You
the
can't
donkey
follow
just
that with a
created-
however slur. That's not how that works.
He can and he will.
Keep driving, you black. You can't follow that with however.
You swear chucking.
Adam, the line
I'm
was
bringing
get
it
back
boys,
here.
I'm bringing it back.
Slur. The line was Colombian.
Yes,
Now that's
because
some
like that
Colombian
person
coffee.
was created from scratch. I don't think they follow the same rules because
Ah.
I don't
Could-
think the
could
Colombian was a
you-
full person.
in a serious
He's not.
way.
He can't have autonomy. He's not real.
No,
Hold your
on,
fire, man.
He
This
might
man
not
is
be.
Colombian.
He might not be real. He might literally be one of those fucking like guy off the side of the coffee can made real kind of thing. You know,
That's what
the
I thought,
generic
yeah.
logo of a lot of coffee brands.
It's a generic logo, but he spawns the motherfucker, and he's clearly talking to him. Like
I was gonna say, hold
okay,
on.
but that doesn't make him any more real than the monkey. I see where Slur is coming from.
Yeah.
It's literally like a
Let it-
I know you're,
Yeah,
you're
there
both
are two of
racist.
us
I
in
get
this
it.
hole.
let him cook. Let him cook.
No, I want this channel to reach something.
Oh,
Susan,
it's
I
going
don't
places.
apologize. I don't apologize for
Oh,
based
man.
attitude.
Oh my god. So yeah,
We're on that Sigma coffee grind set.
literally Sigma coffee grinding. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, I guess I'll give you that. But the fact that he didn't spawn a monkey, he spawned an actual person, is like
yeah, that is a
that's-
bit fucked.
that's a bit fucked. Like,
Well, either he spawned someone that was basically like a, you know, doesn't really exist. Be like he poofed him into existence and then poofed him out of existence, or he literally teleported somebody from Colombia.
I mean, the fact that that man is then not questioning how the fuck he got to this balcony.
yeah, and he's super chill about here's some coffee, dog.
Yeah,
Straight
and
from
remember,
the
like Bruce lives on I think the second or third floor up. Like that dude was out
lives,
there.
Yeah, he was up there, and then he walked off stage, off the fire escape with his donkey. Remember, because
Yeah,
he walks like 4 feet to the left off screen. That means he fucking started skywalking because that's literally nothing else there.
Congratulations, that Colombian is dead.
Yep, and his donkey.
I mean, that
So
usually
either-
happens anyway.
Either
Neither.
Bruce spawned an NPC, or
Well,
bear
Let
with
him
me,
cook.
or there is in Colombia this one farmer who him and his donkey, they go down, like they get whatever sack of fresh roasted beans that they need to bring up to wherever. This dude goes around with a fresh hot pot of coffee just in his hand at all times in case he comes across a floating window that goes to Buffalo, New York.
yeah.
No,
I don't
that or
think
that's
Here's
that
the
or
thing.
that's just God's personal Colombian.
Yeah. He was
I
literally-
don't know if that's better.
I don't. Yeah. That sounds terrible. That's absolutely awful.
You make my coffee. I can't do a Morgan Freeman
He's got
impression to save
some
my
people
life.
for getting his coffee. He's got some people for picking his cotton. You know, it's just
Oh my god. And remember, he has to make these people because the people in Africa aren't allowed to have food. Because fuck that. I need my coffee.
live in the
Bruce
desert.
puts on a
and
shirt.
go to
Now that's
food.
fresh picked cotton from the fields of
Grab your
1760.
shit. Oh, hold on. You live in the fucking desert. Get your shit. Get some U-Hauls.
Oh
Get
my
the
God.
U-Hauls. Go where the food is.
Oh my god.
So now that we're all morally culpable, let's move on to the next thing.
Susan, I don't
Terrible.
apologize.
Okay, so yeah, he gets the powers. One of my favorite jokes is that if I'm God, I'm Clint Eastwood. Be careful what you wish for, punk.
When he just pulls out a gun.
And then he pulled out a gun.
His face is all distorted, like fucking Clint Eastwood's ugly ass mug too. It's great.
That used to be a very handsome man.
Be careful what you wish for, punk. 44 Magnum, most powerful handgun in the world. And then he's like, I'm not Clint. Then it's a nice little bit too. It's like, I'm not Clint Eastwood. I'm Bruce Nolan. I'm Bruce Nolan, the reporter. And he pulls, instead of the gun, he's holding a microphone and he throws it in the trash. Bruce, no, Lynn. Shout outs to the guy at the diner who just saw the weirdest magic show in the world.
Yeah, and didn't even leave the diner. He just moved a few seats down. So he wouldn't
Yeah,
have
that's
to
what,
look
no,
up.
that's what happened. If you were to just be hanging out in your American diner and God just started
Oh, yeah, 'cause
pulling
I have
magic
one of
tricks.
Yeah, American Diner.
Yeah,
The closest
Ireland
we
is-
have is a super overpriced fucking restaurant chain called Eddie Rockets that's just styled like them.
Is that the weirdest way to ever order soup? Like she's like, She just kind of keeps suggesting that he gets the soup. And he's like, "Fine,
She
whatever."
no,
okay."
she
I
like
made it
she
myself.
was forcing that soup upon him, just like you're gonna eat the soup.
She was robbing. She was robbing
she
Bruce of his
offers
free
the soup
will.
and
to
he
add, like,
says
soup.
no, and then she just says like,
I made
"I
it
made
myself.
it myself," and he goes,
Max,
"Fine."
Okay.
Max, it wasn't it was his autonomy.
Yeah, hashtag Bruce soup autonomy.
Fun
Hashtag
fact.
me soup.
Fun fact.
Oh
There's a,
no!
Loud soup.
Oh my god, me soup. Can you please just go and play Minecraft and just fall into some lava? Because that was
Wow.
terrible.
Slur, could
Wow,
you
wow,
start
wow,
a
wow.
Slur? Could you
That
start a
was
movement, please?
absolutely god awful. Yeah, hashtag me soup. Apparently,
I will.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go tweet that with no context.
no, don't do that.
Looks like I'm re-downloading Twitter.
Good.
Hashtag
Yeah.
soups up.
What?
Hashtag me
Hashtag
soup.
soups up. Soups up.
No, just me soup.
No, it's me. Yeah, me soup.
Well,
On
fun
the
fact.
on the next slurp, hashtag me soup.
Hashtag me soup. Well, fun fact: there's a deleted scene where he goes with Hank or whatever the fuck Jack to the diner, and that guy in the diner
And
chick hook up.
tweet.
And she goes,
He
goes,
tweeted.
I need to immediately
twat.
like this tweet.
Oh my god.
Isn't that literally like what Twitter is called in GTA or something? Twitch-twat or something?
That's
He
like
twat waffled.
It's twat waffled. He hit the witty.
He said ooh ooh to Daddy Elon.
Oh my god. Hear me out. All right.
Let him cook.
God damn. Yeah, no, so the idea of him dropping a meteor, so the pulling of the moon, which we had a bit of a discussion about, like that's cosmically insane what he does there. But he does cause a bunch of shit, but that's not technically on him. He didn't realize what he was doing. The Jimmy Hoffa thing, obviously that's kind of cool, which it's a little strange. That's how it works. You bring in a good story and you just get your job back. Like he still kind of made an ass of himself, like on live television. Oh, God, we're on the tweet, are we?
Colombian coffee anus dwelling butt monkey hashtag me soup.
Why? You don't have to do that.
I am a god of social media. Okay.
I have to like this tweet immediately. I have no choice. I have no choice. Slur's taking my autonomy
Taking
away.
your autonomy. Oh man.
But, okay, yeah, like Bruce made a fucking absolute ass of himself on TV, but as soon as like he gets the Jimmy Hoffa thing and he's the one who's reporting on it, like the old network just wants to snap him up before somebody else gets him.
Real
Because
quick,
like this guy's like profitable again.
And real quick, just to see if I can take some more pot shots of Wyatt. Hey Wyatt, do you know who Jimmy Hoffa is?
He was a famous mobster, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I remember it's like the thing he's most popular is that nobody knows where he's buried.
Well, no, he might not even be buried. That's the story.
Okay.
I was just
Hashtag
saying.
autonomy.
You passed.
I don't know like the most details, but I know like there's that part, like the whole thing about his burial, or in this case, if there might not even be one.
Yeah, it might not be about.
I mean, if you would ever like to learn about Jimmy Hoffa, you could always watch The Irishman, that movie by Scorsese.
Oh, is that like I always meant to watch The Irishman, and
It's
never
pretty
got around
decent.
to it.
Like it's okay, it's not like bombastic and like fucking slick and cool like Goodfellas, but it's actually just a legitimate good fucking
When are we
historical
gonna-
period piece.
When are we gonna do a Scorsese arc?
As soon as we go to the amusement park.
Whenever we have like 100 fucking years to do shit, god
Yeah.
damn, that man has made so many good movies and
Yeah,
they're
right.
all very long.
Oh,
and
fuck
very
me, I keep
chunky.
forgetting-
I'd rather do the fucking One Piece arc at that point.
I actually completely forgot like how many movies. Like it's not like a Quentin Tarantino where he's only made like at most 8 films. No, he's-
Scorsese is prolific. I mean, we could like focus it like Scorsese gangster movies if we want to.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna
narrow
say
it down, but even then,
Casino,
we're dealing with a lot of shit.
Goodfellas. What's fuck me? What's the one with I only know Robert De Niro and this guy named Sonny. It's all about like his kid. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, I have no
You're
idea.
gonna
what
have
the
to be
name
way
is.
more specific.
Yeah,
De Niro isn't like all of this.
I know.
motherfucker's
That's why I
movie.
was saying De Niro isn't helping because he's in all of them.
But you know who's in this movie is Jim Carrey. and we're
Martin
talking about this so
Scorsese is
much,
stealing Y.A.R.P's autonomy.
basically. Our ability to fucking process thoughts at this point. We're just twatting all over the place.
you know, you can't resist it.
It's a fucking great verb. I'm not gonna lie.
So
I do
yeah,
to the English language what like Jim Carrey did to Jennifer Aniston in that bathroom.
Oh my god.
that just a twitch of his fingers, instant orgasm.
Where in this movie did we even leave off talking
I
about?
don't know.
Well, we
oh
can-
wait,
we can-
oh
That's right.
hold on, no, we were,
No, because the Columbia thing comes later. But yeah, we were on the Jimmy Hoffa bit. So he starts getting all his things back, and yeah, finding Jimmy Hoffa, that's a really like big mystery, and yeah, it could put a lot of people at ease. But
with his birth certificate and dental records.
and full dental records. The meteor, however,
That's a bit much.
I have a lot of problems with that because he literally does that just to create a story. Like the Jimmy Hoffa bit is like, yeah, that's a major mystery in like the world. You know what I mean? That's kind of.
But
something.
he
literally
he
drops a
spawned,
fucking meteor.
no, he
out of
spawned Jimmy
fucking-
Hoffa's body in
He
that
spawned
fucking
Jimmy Hoffa.
part.
And his birth
They're not the
certificate
same.
and his
They're
dental
not the
records.
same thing, dog. Like they're not the same. Like he literally creates he literally fucks with cosmic events.
No,
twice,
yeah,
usually.
with the moon, like it's on the same level as fucking with the moon, at least.
Except for with the moon, he could kind of understand that, like, yeah, he didn't realize it was gonna fuck with Japan that well. But like, he's literally dropping a fucking meteor in the middle of a fucking field, which
Hundreds of thousands of
When-
Japanese people died in this movie, and it's
Yeah,
never
like,
mentioned.
it's mentioned literally in a passing.
I was gonna say,
comment.
out of all the things that he could have made that chili cook-off interesting, he couldn't have given somebody food poisoning or
Right.
like
Or
set a
something,
world
but
record.
no, like, and it's like a fucking massive explosion behind him too. It's not like a
It's
small
like when
thing.
the studio
Like,
keeps running out of power later on in the movie, you actually hear Jack say, like, ever since that fucking meteor hit.
Yeah, the meteor has a lot of consequences.
yeah, and like they mentioned in news reports too. It's like, yeah, we're still repairing the fucking like structural damage that this meteor storm's caused. Because apparently when he pulled that meteor down, he pulled a lot more shit like through the gravitational pull that he didn't realize he was doing. I also love that bit where it's like,
Meanwhile,
oh, the whole-
Morgan Freeman is on top of Mount Everest, like, God damn it, I gave him Buffalo because, like, I didn't
Dude.
want to give him more than he could handle. What the
and this
fuck?
motherfucker's literally moving planetary bodies. Like, what the fuck is
He
going on?
deleted a star.
He
I had
deleted
people
a
living there.
star. There's like a fucking alien race that is just now like fucked because he deleted their fucking star.
No, they were just playing their banjo, and because everything's gonna be fine.
yeah, because the fucking heat death of the universe. Oh jeez. Oh jeez, Rick.
Oh,
don't know about this.
oh, jeez, Rick.
Why are we even talking about the cartographer? The sun's gonna explode. Anyway.
Morty, we gotta take
It's
autonomy
weird
away.
because you don't even need to like delete a star. You can just dive down to the wreck of the Titanic, find evidence that there were actually aliens on it,
Sir.
or in a conspiracy with JP Morgan to sink it because like they were competing with his banking
I'm
ideas.
not even
And
gonna
then the
try
US
to.
military
I'm not
will
even trying
take
to
you
stop
out and
this
they'll
one.
cover it up.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to stop that one. Yeah, fuck it.
On the
Slur
list
was
of
mysteriously disappeared. That's crazy.
on today's Y.A.R.P commits like some sort of defamation and is no longer seen again.
What are you talking about? He didn't defame anyone in particular.
It's true.
Yeah. I didn't say which branch of the US military.
As some hitman's loading his gun, he hears this like, technicality, you win this round.
The fucking red dot disappears off my head. It's like before spelling out in cursive across my face, like you win this time, fucker.
But you know, he specifically says slur, like he doesn't know your actual name.
Listen, if the fucking marketing people can't identify him, the assassins can't either.
Okay, so anyway, Bruce is a dickhead. Going back to the movie, the thing in the restaurant is like by far the most fucking mind-boggling thing that he could ever do. why would he think that's a good idea to bring her to the restaurant to get down on one knee, then tell her I got promoted?
Yeah, there's being a bit full of yourself, and then there's your sniffing your own farts.
They
Yeah.
wanted to take his flaw, his issue to dial it up to 11. This is
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
him. He's got the tunnel vision. He's so focused on himself and his accomplishments that he's basically completely sidelined her and their relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting down on one knee is pushing it for the joke, but like the big gesture, go to a spa, we're going out to like this super romantic restaurant where we had our
With the
first
first
date, like
date.
setting it up like a proposal, and then like the big news is actually that I got that job I wanted. It's like, yeah, that's completely him. That's the
Mhm.
fucking tunnel vision. That's the central character
Yeah.
flaw. The getting down on one knee, that's pure
That's
just we wanted to push the joke as far as we could. And
Mhm.
I think it kind of works in the moment, but like,
Yeah, but like
bruh.
pushing the joke to a point, it's like it's kind of like the monkey butt thing. It's like that's kind of fucking evil, dog. It's like that's kind of fucked up as a like thing, and like, I
That's
don't know.
because it
It's just
only like comes across like almost like he's deliberately making her think he's about to propose.
and it's like and there's another thing. It's like that deleted scene I mentioned, because you can watch it, but like I feel like that deleted scene needs to be out of the movie because it makes Bruce look like a fucking massive piece of shit. Because he's
I mean,
literally
that's probably why it was
torturing.
deleted.
Yeah, he's literally torturing a fucking man. And like at the remember the movie where like Evan is like looking in the mirror and he like parts his hair a little bit? Like when he turns around, like half of his head is like missing because it was on fire.
Oh
But
no, he got the Harvey Dent treatment.
Well,
but yeah, yeah,
oh
but
wait,
then
but that
like
means he can go into the off-screen jujitsu.
yeah, but then like it's actually kind of funny because remember how that scene ends where you're like, okay, thanks, man, and then like right before that scene actually ends, he goes, hey, by the way, your hair looks like it's filling out. He goes, ha, very funny, and he turns around and his hair's fine. It's because like he kind of fixes it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that bit, like I said, it's just I get because like I guess I'm conflating it with the fucking deleted scenes. It's technically not in the movie, so I can't like use that as
Nope.
evidence. But it's something indicative of his
If
character.
if they had kept it, then yeah, they would have said something
Yeah,
horrifying.
yeah, and there's another deleted scene too. Remember when he's like in the remember he's in the streets like looking at all the chaos and shit like that. There's a deleted scene where he starts like destroying shit.
All right, so
it's
wait,
like-
hold on.
yeah,
So
like,
yeah,
he
clearly
starts,
in
like-
deleted scenes they wanted him to be an actual bad guy.
yeah, like there's a part where he like because he just like right before he yells God, he like stands up on like a like staircase and he just starts like fucking six shooting and like exploding cars and shit and making the crowd disperse.
Is
And
this
it's like-
is this an instance where like Jim Carrey wanted this to be like some sort of dark character drama, and then the
No, I
studio went
think
like,
it's just in terms of
Maybe?
screenwriting. They wanted as many like different instances of him like using the powers,
Mhm.
and they kind of kept the ones that looked good or that worked for the story. Or
Like
you know,
fun fact,
they filmed in excess of what they would need.
yeah, fun fact, there's like fucking 8 versions of him lighting those candles, by the way.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
one's
okay.
actually one's really fucking funny too because he does this thing where he's like clicking his thumb and the prop fucks up on the final one, so he clicks it again and like it pops back up and he's like, "Oh shit, yeah, we could use that one." Sorry, I love this movie.
okay, yeah, if it's
I know
just,
an exorbitant amount of this fucking movie, but
it's
I just-
yeah, it seems to be just yeah, they wanted to have as many instances because
Mhm.
like, I was for a split second I was like, is this another Groundhog Day situation where like somebody wanted to be more of a comedy, somebody wanted to do more of a serious
Like,
character
okay.
drama?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of shit that he's just like improvs and stuff like that. Because Jim Carrey is just genuinely a genius like actor, like just
Yes.
straight up. He's just masterclass in comedy, and I don't think anybody could say anything against that.
Yeah, it's
'cause
why
a lot of,
who
because like I
else
said,
was-
with the candles and shit like that, like that's all like that candle thing was improv. Like there's a bunch of like different deleted scenes, and there's like straight up shit that's not even in the movie. Like there's like a whole thing where he's like dicking around in the bakery at the beginning of the movie, kind of thing, just doing improv.
yeah, he is a pretty
He's hilarious.
pretty good guy, pretty good actor.
It's a lot of
That's
fun.
why that's why everybody was excited that he came back for Sonic.
Yeah, because fucking he nailed that shit.
That's an illegal left.
But like I said, as for like the idea of like him potentially being evil, that's something that I will admit I do have bias on because of like my, like, I guess, quote unquote inside knowledge of the movie.
I mean, if like I'm gonna agree with you. If the deleted scenes had been what is in the movie, I would be full on agreeing that Bruce is a fucking evil bastard.
Mhm.
Uh,
And you
but
could argue that that is kind of like the power going to his head thing, and that's maybe why they deleted it, because they don't really want to, because he kind
Yeah.
of goes a little too
yeah, because
crazy with it.
then he'd be super unsympathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, they do keep one of those. An instance where the power goes to his head and he actually knowingly violates a rule that he was explicitly told not to do when he actually tries to subvert free will as the last act of desperation.
I was
Mhm.
expecting more to happen with that, and I didn't realize like, oh, it's the rule in the sense you can't do it, not in the sense of like if
Yeah,
you
no,
try,
the
something
fact
will happen.
literally nothing happened, I think, is the best way they could have played it.
Yeah. Shout out before that, where it's like the him asking God, "How do you get somebody to love you without affecting their free will?" And
It's
it's
like,
just,
you ever
If you
figure
figure
fucking
that
out,
out,
let me
let
know.
me know.
welcome to my world, son. Figure that out. You let me know.
Yeah.
It's a good
Again,
one.
Morgan Freeman, the perfect depiction of
Oh,
God.
oh yeah,
I don't know
like
that I would have ever seen that one coming before I actually saw this movie, but he plays it so goddamn well.
I keep forgetting Morgan Freeman has decent comedic chops.
Yeah,
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
he's just charming. You know what I mean? He's just a charming dude.
Mm-hmm. My favorite is like if you go out in front of a semi truck, you're not gonna.
Well, I
Oh,
believe, like, remember with the thing I was telling you about the fucking, why didn't you help me, God? I sent you 2 boats. It's like, dude, you can't fucking lay down in the middle of the street.
Like you can't kneel down in the middle of the freeway and not come out unscathed. Sounds like, what did you think was gonna fucking happen?
It's like, I'm sorry, dude. I've literally been trying this entire movie not to kill you, but like, yeah, brought this one on yourself.
yeah, it's a good
But
movie.
And then you get
But
okay. What I want you to do, I like to hear at the end of the movie, the culmination of Bruce's arc is like, you've been shown everything. I have shown you the way, but it is still ultimately up to you to take it. Take this fucking jangly thing of beads thrown together by some toddlers, and right here, right now, I want you to fucking pray. And the first thing Bruce does is do world peace.
peace.
Like, yeah, no, yeah, that was great.
If
If
you
you're
were
gonna
trying
become Miss
to
America,
America, want to feed the
now
children.
I want you to actually fucking pray.
well, it's like to be fair, like you gotta try at least, like
Mhm.
No,
because
and this is the thing. It's like
because
this,
technically those are the universal answers technically of like
yeah.
before I actually
And
I think
try.
I think God in this instance kind of like that's expected. Like that's fine. I'm not gonna like lambast you for that. I'm
But
gonna like gently rib you because like you're picking like what you think is the correct answer, but
You think,
explicitly want you to like dig deep and find what you actually care about, and
yeah, and it's like
that's a
you.
prayer.
I
And
yeah,
think
like
it's
that
a really
endless patience is a big part of like him playing like a sincere God figure.
Mhm.
I think it's a really good representation of what like I think I mean I think I've shared this before. My dad was a pastor. He loved this movie. We watched it all the time when I was growing up. And it's because there's so many like actually genuine truths and lessons in this that like it's not blasphemous. It's like I said genuine and um I think it's this particular thing that you were just talking about is a great example of how people think that religion is like think they're supposed to pray when really it's all about that personal connection with God.
Mhm. And the idea that like not everybody can have everything that they want because, well, the lottery sucks. I've only won $17.
Right.
It's like I said,
I love it
it's
when the fucking sports people like in the riots are like, yeah, we won, as they're contributing to the riots. Like,
yeah. I thought
I
that
mean, that
part.
was actually foreshadowed and set up earlier on in the
yeah,
movie during the party.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the
Uh,
Sabers. He sure does pray a lot.
well, no, but the thing is, like, I thought it was in that movie. I thought it was in the movie, but in the lead scene was Tony where he goes crazy, starts blowing shit up. Like, he literally turns to that truck and goes, "But your team won." It's
No,
like-
and anyone who's ever seen Philadelphia either win or lose a game, that's a very familiar sight.
Mhm. Like I said, it just a little. That's just like, but your team won.
Yeah, that does anyone have anything else left?
How does it rate? What do you guys think?
I think it's
Ooh.
great.
I do, I do think it is like sincerely like a very good movie. And
Mm-hmm.
jokes aside, we've brought up like things about it that are a little bit fucky. Parts of the message might get a little bit muddled by like some of the implications of the way he uses power and stuff. But like
Mm-hmm. But I feel like
on the
it all.
base level, like his journey as a character, bolstered by this very sincere and actually quite heartfelt depiction of God to like kind of elevate it and give it that kind of heart, I think it's like it's above average at the
Yeah.
minimum.
And like, yeah, I was like, talking about like, is he evil or anything? But like, that is kind of the point of his like character arc. It's him like trying not to be a selfish asshole and stop thinking about himself the entire time. Um, and like, yeah, it is obviously like heavily Christian because it is dealing with fucking God. But like, I feel like it's not like overbearing with like its like message or anything. It's not like it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a church sermon. It feels like if you're actually just talking to a divine being.
Yeah, I kind of alluded to this earlier as well. Is like there are many different flavors of spirituality to which the core messages of this movie will still actually hold a lot of track.
Mm-hmm. Like you don't need to be a Christian to appreciate the story. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Ooh.
yeah,
Like you,
definitely.
like it's not something that's just blown up in your face. It's like I said, it's a pretty well done story, and it's fucking hilarious. Like I feel like we're smiling the entire time.
Yeah, it's a very charming movie.
Oh, I did have a comment about his opening story, which I thought his opening story, like he says it was a goofy thing and like he hated it, but it's like I feel like if that was actually a news report, that would actually be a very beautiful and wholesome thing.
Well, that's kind of
Uh,
they kind of like allude to this in the movie itself, where the reason they sent him to do these pieces is because they kind of do use them to kind of pad out the news with feel good stories of like local community shit that's happening. And
Yeah.
Bruce actually excels at doing exactly that thing. It's just he doesn't want that because it's not prestigious.
Mm-hmm.
He wants the anchor, even though it's like, and I already had my whole fucking thing on that.
Yeah.
But like the story itself is fine, but it is still small potatoes. And it is
Mm-hmm.
still like fairly low stakes. It's still something that even in the newsroom, they treat as disposable. It's something they don't actually treat as important in the studio. And I think once they addressed that at the end of the movie, where he's doing this piece, but he's also being treated more respectfully as like an integral part of the daily news, that I think actually kind of addresses the workplace was. And it's like stupid background shit of like his career progression that is not intrinsic to his character growth or his arc or anything. It's just something they wanted to kind of tidy up. So I
Mm-hmm.
I think that putting a bow on that I think was a nice touch to kind of wrap that up. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
his feelings at the beginning of the movie aren't unjustified. It's more about his mentality that's the problem. That the victim mentality, the I should have this position. Why don't I have this position? God hates me, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. It's all God's fault. It's not anything on me.
I mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, don't ever say like. I'm trying to remember what she specifically said in like if she said God moves. Did she say God moves in mysterious ways or was it
No, she didn't.
No,
No,
everything happens
What?
for a reason. God,
that's what she said.
What?
And
What are you talking
he
about?
says when he comes back after being fired and they're arguing in the apartment, and he's like, "Yeah, oh, God fucking hates me. God is no, it's not that God hates me. It's that he's ignoring me completely, blah blah blah." And she's like,
It's God's fault.
everything happens for a reason. And he says, "That's not
That's
anything. That's not an answer. That's a
yeah. It's a
cliche. That
cliche.
doesn't help me." I was like,
yeah,
at this point in the argument, he's still obviously very fucking in his feelings. He's still feeling a lot of anger and he's just trying to vent that. So he's
right.
not like being cruel or unkind in that moment. It's
Right.
just like he's refusing to try to actually communicate with her, and he just wants to rant.
Right, and also there are just some people that don't ever want to fucking hear that thing. If you fucking ever, to my face, ever said God moves in mysterious ways or everything happens for a reason, I would just blatantly start laughing at you. It would be like, fuck you.
Well, everything happens for a reason, then.
Go fuck yourself.
That's
Yeah.
but
All of the
There's no, the
all of the
universe is
questionable
just
things I've said during this single episode, I said them all for a
he
reason.
said them for a reason. Like, it's technically not untrue.
There was aliens at the Titanic. I fucking swear to God, man.
Shut
My
up.
snake was trying to cover it.
Slur. You're gonna have the
Slur.
fucking alien red dot on your on you.
Chuck Norris is so fucking scary and powerful. Then why is he coming to my house?
All right, if anyone doesn't have anything else to say,
Ratings and wrap up.
yeah,
It's a wrap up. Give it a. You said it was above average. Like, honestly,
minimum.
it's hard for me. It's honestly hard for me to fucking like separate and like try to be objective about it. Like, I will straight up admit, it's one of my favorite memories with me and my mom. We went to go see this in the movie theaters. Like, my mom hates going to the movie theaters, so like getting her out to see a movie is like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. And yeah, we were like laughing our asses off at the Evan Baxter moment. So like, it's hard for me to like remove my feelings from this movie. I really love it. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say. And it holds up surprisingly well. So that's another thing.
I have a hard time rating comedy. That's
Okay, so are we all just gonna cop out and that's gonna be the wrap up?
no. We have to try at least. I think I would say it's about an 8.
Okay.
If anyone,
I also am about happy with an 8. Like I said, it does have its flaws with the ways like some of the implications kind of clash with the overall message, but generally it's a solid character arc for its main thing. The entire thing is built on, for, and around that arc. All of the things that elevate the movie to like that next level, all of that heartfelt, sincere stuff that makes it more than just like this character thing, all of it still bolsters the central fucking thing. It's a solid fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also really fucking funny. It's just good shit. I think an 8 is more than fair.
Fair enough. Ninja.
good talk.
Bueller?
He's left the building.
Sarah, what do
Alright,
you
Sarah,
give
do
it?
you want to speak for it, Ninja?
Well,
No, you'll take his autonomy away.
Oh God.
I mean, of course, I agree with a lot of what you guys have said. I loved it. It holds a special place in my heart. I would agree with Slur. I think an 8 is fair.
Mm-hmm. All right, Ninja. What do you think?
Now we all need to just sit in awkward silence until Ninja finally responds.
Yep, it's gonna be a fucking billion-hour podcast. Where
Why?
you just come back.
Sarah just gave a number for him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
His autonomy has been taken over.
Basically, yeah.
His free will hasn't, because he had the free will to not have this. Like,
Yeah, to
here,
be
on.
muted.
Yeah. See? Yeah, you see where I was onto something.
You wanted something about the aliens?
Yeah, about the alien. Williams, listen. The F-22 is one of the most advanced fighters in the entire world, and its only 2 confirmed kills are on something that we couldn't define, either having a country or even being of this world. So fuck off. A lot of weird shit going on, dog.
This is why I check out sometimes. One, due to just the constant like just stress and bullshit, and secondly because there's no way any of this shit is real, and then it turns out to be the most real.
Totally real. It's great. It's like we're watching Bruce Almighty, except for IRL.
Also, some of the effects actually still hold up, because most of them were practical. Like, you brought up the posted stamp.
Yeah.
I was worried for
Most
a
of
second,
them.
like, because
Most of
the how many fingers was in the advertising. I was like, I wonder if that was ever gonna age really well. And
It
Yeah,
actually held up
has.
pretty good because it's
Yeah.
a very quick effect.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's how you do it. Yeah, it's
It's a
emphasize
quick
the
effect,
shot
and there's
and
not
be
a-
quick.
And there's not a lot of movement too, because like he shows his hand and then he goes, "Ha ha," and he holds it there, and then
And
he
then shakes
realizes-
it.
He goes, I did that to Gandhi. He didn't eat for 3 weeks.
Which means he's done this before, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is exactly the
That is
implication of that.
exactly the implication.
Like, so did Gandhi piss God off, and he was just like, "Now you get to be me."
Yeah, God was like, God has taken my bird and my bush.
I
Except
mean,
for
God, but Gandhi was on some kind of shit. Okay, we don't know what was up.
he was on 12 perks. No, but
You all right?
It's just one of those. It's just one of those quick little lines. It's like I did the same thing to Gandhi.
Yeah. It's
And
just a fucking stray shot kind of joke, but it is actually quite funny.
Yeah.
Do we have any ideas for the thumbnail?
Oh.
Yeah, as a
Oh,
matter
I
of
have it
fact,
in the if the
hold on.
chat, if you just kind of scroll up.
Yeah, in
Oh,
fact,
okay.
let me show the
Just-
audience as well.
No, don't show the audience. They'll see it in the thumbnail.
But here's the thing: it's actually like too wide to
Yeah,
actually
okay,
be the
okay.
thumbnail.
No,
No,
close
squish it.
No,
Just
close
squish it.
Squish it down with his face and throwing the milk. That is
It's
our
too
thumbnail.
small.
Squish it. Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to just fucking okay?
No,
yeah,
squish
alright.
it. Like no, squish it, but like just fucking like crop it and just crop out. So
I
it's
don't
only...
think you understand how narrow the range of like the end of our thumbnails is. I'll give you an example. Okay, don't worry. Here, I got you.
Yeah, just make sure you get the children getting milk covers
Slur
all over them.
versus River thumbnail contest.
Oh God, here we go.
Who do you only you can prevent forest fires.
What the fuck are you on, dog? That whole power fucking thing like literally fuck with your head.
I'm very tired. I've been up since 5
Oh, I found a good one.
Bitch, so have I. And I didn't even nap.
Jesus, the hostility. God damn. This is a hostile work.
I know, but just saying that like it's unique. It's not unique, dog.
No, it's I'm not a morning person like at all. Like I fucking self. Yeah, but you don't seem to self-destruct for some reason.
Well, granted, my mom she brought lunch today, and she gave me this like shot of ginger that like felt like I was drinking firewater.
Your mom brought you lunch? Also,
Yeah.
I actually have like a ginger shit like
mom?
that. Is it? Wait, hold on. Is this the stuff where it's like it's mostly like dark brown cane sugar and ginger in like a green
No,
bottle?
there's no sugar at all, but it's like a tiny like little shot glass bottle. Apparently I'm supposed to drink.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Yeah, you see those all the time at like pharmacies.
It is brutal. Like I actually almost killed over because like it was burning my fucking chest.
Okay,
open.
here I got your fucking squished version right here. Hold on.
We're not recording anymore, right? Turn that shit off.
We're still recording. We haven't.
Fucking why?
Why? Yeah. All right, guys. Tune in for next week where we watch another movie with another actor who's prominent in this arc. All right. Okay. Bye now.
Hello, Human Resources. I'd like to report Max kissing the audience.